Hi, I'd like to take a moment to thank those of you who sent me congratulatory messages on my recent marriage. They were very much appreciated, and thank you. I hope you'll join me tomorrow at 6 and 11 with all the news you need to know. Until then, with the WMON News, this is Nicole Drake. Good night.
Okay, cut. Nice show, Nicole.
Oh, thank you.
Well, you haven't lost your touch. You were excellent as usual.
Margo. Thank you.
How did it feel to be in front of the cameras after your sensational honeymoon?
Well, it was a little bit strange. I had terrible butterflies before I went on the air.
Really?
I think maybe I'm better suited to lounging around on a tropical island.
Oh, no, you don't. You are just where you belong. Except I expect a distinct drop in the ratings.
Why?
Because if I had $1 for every single wedding proposal you received in your fan mail, I could buy another station.
Listen, thank you. You did me a tremendous favor by taking over my air shift so Miles and I could get away.
Well, that was my pleasure.
Are you here because you have to work late?
No.
Well, then why are you here? Why aren't you home with Eliot?
Oh, yes, dear Eliot.
Well, I can't wait to get home to Miles, and you and Eliot are newlyweds than we are.
Yes, I'd say by a couple of weeks.
Oh, you should be home with fire in the fireplace and the phone off the hook.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm here because I wanted to get away from home for a little while.
Good show, Mrs. Cavanaugh.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, good night.
Oh, good night. When are you two going to be off on a real honeymoon?
Oh, I thought about flying to Paris for a week, but now I'm not so sure.
Well, if it's a matter of time, I'll be glad to help out around here any way I can so you two can go away.
It's very generous of you.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe spending some more time around here will get me back into the swing of things quicker. Actually, it's a whole new lifestyle that I'm going to have to get used to.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Margo, did I thank you for that party that you threw for us the other evening?
No, it's not necessary. Actually, the reason I threw that party was so that you'd know there were no hard feelings over our past differences. Show you that I really want us to be friends.
Well, I'm sure we will be.
I guess the reason I'm here tonight is because at that party we were both so busy we never had a chance to talk.
Well, the hostess is usually the last person to get to relax at their own party.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Well, I hope you and Miles didn't mind my making my little announcement about my marriage to Eliot in the middle of the festivities.
Oh, no, it was a party for newlyweds. Thought it was entirely appropriate. However, I was a little bit surprised to learn that you'd gotten married after such a short courtship. It was very sudden. It's not like you to make spur-of-the-moment decisions.
Well, I guess I just decided to take the plunge before I missed the boat. Well, I'm mixing my metaphors.
Anyway, I'm very happy for you.
I know it seemed very sudden, but I really believe Eliot and I have the basis for a successful marriage.
It's a 50-50 proposition.
Yes, so they say. Well, it's really strange, isn't it? I mean, a short time ago I had no family at all. Now here I am with a daughter and a husband.
How did April take the news?
Oh, very sensibly, I think. I think she felt as long as I was happy, she was all for it.
Good.
Has she said anything to you about it?
No, she hasn't, but since we've come back, most of the conversations have centered around Miles and myself and Winter.
Yeah, I suppose even if she wanted to say something, she'd keep it to herself.
Oh, I don't know. She's confided in me before.
Yeah, But Draper has always been around lately, right? And the quickest way to bring a scowl to his face is mention my name.
Oh?
Well, haven't you noticed? As far as Draper's concerned, I'm the Wicked Witch of the West.
I don't know.
I think he resents me for trying to establish communication with April after keeping my secret for all those years.
Have you talked to Draper about this?
Oh, I've tried. We've exchanged words, sometimes not altogether pleasant words.
I'm sorry about that.
You know, to tell the truth, I've just about run out of ways to try to deal with the situation. If you have any suggestions of how to rid Draper of his antagonism, I'd really appreciate it.
I would really like to help out. But I don't think I have any business interfering in this.
Good evening, ladies.
Eliot, hi.
Hi.
Eliot, what are you doing here?
I've come to take you home. The thought of you traveling alone through the city at this hour of night didn't appeal to me at all.
Oh, well, maybe we can give Nicole a ride home.
Yeah.
No, thank you. That's okay. I have the car. Miles used to give me a ride home every now and then, but his services are much more useful as a babysitter.
How does he get along with Adam?
Oh, they adore each other, and I adore them. So if you excuse me, I want to get back to the men in my life. Bye, Margo. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Eliot.
Good night, Nicole.
It really wasn't necessary for you to come by to pick me up, you know.
Oh, the way you left the apartment, I wasn't sure if you intended to return.
Well, you did upset me a little bit.
Yeah, well, I apologize for that, Margo. I suppose I must have gotten a bit carried away by the prospect of operating my own night spa. Well, I'm sorry if my enthusiasm caused us to quarrel.
Eliot, you've just got to be reasonable about this venture.
Yes, after you left, I took a long walk to try and clear my head. I realized now that you were right. I mustn't have dreams of glory. Not quite so soon.
Well, I guess I did fly off the handle a little bit.
Do you have it within you to forgive me?
Oh, all right. I guess it's over and done with.
Good. Let me take you home.
What is it?
You said you were going to drop Winter off and go over and see Logan. That was hours ago.
Plus something came up.
Well, all you have to do is put a dime on the telephone, give me a call.
Never occurred to me, April. I have something on my mind.
Okay. What'd Logan want? Offer you another play bargain for Winter?
No. He knows we have no intention of going that route now.
Well, what did he want?
Just wanted to give me some information that I might be able to use in Winter's defense.
I know you two are friends, but I can't see him going to any trouble. Give you help. You two are on opposite sides of the courtroom.
Yeah, he appreciated the way I handled his cross-examination and just wanted to return the favor.
Draper, don't both sides have to make all their evidence known to each other?
Depends on what you interpret as evidence. What Logan told me, Nelson would want to keep out of the courtroom.
Well, aren't you going to tell me?
It's just technical, April, believe me.
Well, why don't you tell me? Why are you hedging?
Look, why are you some kind of question machine tonight? Believe me when I tell you, you don't want to know.
Well, now you have to tell me.
It's about Margo.
What about her?
She's more involved in this case than we thought.
Draper, we always knew Margo was involved with Meacham. I mean, she never tried to hide that fact. What is it now?
You heard Raven's testimony about Meacham's telephone call. There was Margo on the other end. That article Meacham was writing, it wasn't an article. It was blackmail.
Blackmail? Are you sure?
The DA's office received a page of the article. It was all about Meacham's business relationship with Margo. It detailed the rise of his porn empire financed by your mother, Margo Huntington.
No, I can't believe
If it's
it.
true or not, it's not the kind of thing Margo would like to see printed.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Margo might have killed Meacham to keep him from publishing an article?
It's possible, April. We can't ignore that possibility.
Draper, she said she was nowhere near that hotel.
That's
that
not
night.
true either. She denied it at first, but the police have a witness that saw her in the hotel, saw her on Meacham's floor. She admitted it finally. She admitted to the article, but she didn't say it was blackmail. April, I'm not saying she killed Meacham, but it does show that she has motive and opportunity.
Draper, if the police had suspected Margo, they would have preferred charges against her.
But they didn't. Now it's my job. I've got to make sure that jury knows what's going on so I can establish a reasonable doubt.
Draper, you're not saying that you're going to try to win your case by using Margo. Draper, you can't do that. You just can't. Who's the one who told me that a respectable lawyer tries to win a case on his own merits? Draper, you're sounding like some kind of a courtroom smoothie who doesn't care what he says about people, how he hurts them, as long as he makes points with the jury.
Look, I'm not looking to cause a scandal, April, but I didn't make this up.
How do you know that Cliff Nelson didn't make it up? You're the one who told me he was a street fighter. How do you know he didn't plant this information with Logan to make you look foolish?
I'm not that naive anymore, April. I'd never go into a courtroom unless I checked out all the details.
And how can you be so sure?
That's why I was late. I went to talk to Margo.
You did? Well, what did she say?
She didn't deny any of it. She said that Meacham didn't always tell her where the money was going, but that she knew the kind of business he was in.
Draper, you can't let this story get out. You can't. I mean, it would hurt her a great deal. You know, she's becoming a very important person in this town.
Oh, my client's very important to me.
Well, how would you let all this information out? Oh, Draper, you wouldn't make her testify.
I've got to get her on the stand, April. It's the only way.
No.
I'll have Mike examine her.
What difference does it make who does it? It's still cruel and it's horrible. Draper, I don't want you to do it.
April, don't start that with me. This is not a vendetta against your mother. It's strictly business.
I'm not so sure it is. I think you have some subconscious desire to hurt her. You want to punish Margo, and you finally found a way to do it.
April, wait a minute.
Now I got Jamie tucked in, I think I better go home and do the same thing to myself. I am tired.
Logan, I'm not very happy about what went on today.
I know you're not.
Look, I know you did it for me, but maybe there was another way.
No, there wasn't. Truth was coming out. It was coming out all the wrong way. I couldn't stand by and let Draper make you a prime suspect.
But did you have to make the tape public?
Confession. It's good for the soul.
But not necessarily good for the career.
Don't think we have to worry much about my career anymore. I don't think there's anything left of it. How are you going to be feeling married to somebody who's not the DA, just another lawyer?
We don't know that that's going to happen yet.
After what I did today? I showed the world that I'll take a bribe. The mayor doesn't have any choice.
And you did it for me. Hey, I'll never forget that. Not as long as I live.
Raven, I think I did it for myself.
That's Geraldine. She said she was going to stop by.
Oh, please. I'm in no shape to see her tonight. Let me get my coat on so she knows I'm going to leave.
Don't be silly.
Hello, Raven, dear.
Hello.
Raven, I'd like you to meet Hugh Jensen. Hugh, this is Mrs. Jameson.
How do you do? Nice
How
to
do
meet
you do, Mrs. Jameson?
Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Logan?
You're the mayor?
Well, Hugh and I have been very dear friends for a long time. We happen to be dining with friends this evening, and I asked him to come by and meet you two.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you, but I've never seen you in person.
Not very grand without my television makeup.
Well, come in, please.
I thought this would be a good opportunity to have an informal discussion about what happened in court today.
Yes, the truth is, this is a command performance. It's not very easy to say no to Geraldine.
Well, in any case, Hugh has some definite ideas about this situation, and I thought you would like to hear them.
Yes, now I just have to figure out whether they're my ideas or Geraldine's.
You're not going to fire Logan, are you?
Logan, when Ira Paulson resigned to run for the Senate, I appointed you to fill out his term because you struck me as a most competent and honest young man.
Well, I hope you still think I'm competent.
Yes, from everything I've read about Wade Meacham, he was a pretty despicable human being. There was no need for you to sink down to his level.
I am not proud of what I did.
You were a fool for even considering entering into an under-the-table arrangement with a man like that.
At the time, there didn't seem to be any other alternative.
Yes, if it had come out that my district attorney was about to marry a woman whose film career consisted of X-rated films, well, it would have presented me with a bit of a dilemma.
But Logan was just trying to prevent a scandal.
Yes, but we could resolve that situation with a lot less than we'll have to endure to weather this storm.
Now, Hugh, you know you've always been very good at handling critical issues.
Well, I'm faced with a situation where the one man in my administration who must have unquestionable integrity has committed a serious breach of ethics. You have abused the powers of your office.
I'm aware of that.
Yes, the only thing that is keeping me from bringing charges against you is that the motivations behind your actions were not personal gain.
But Logan was only trying to protect someone he loved. At the time, of course.
Thank you.
Yes, Geraldine pointed that out to me. Well, I suppose there is something appealing about that. The knight in shining armor coming to the rescue of the damsel in distress.
Exactly my point. I think the people of the city are going to understand a simple act of chivalry.
Oh, chivalry sounds so much better than abuse of office. Are you saying that you're not going to fire me?
Well, I could hardly do that in the middle of a major trial. And since your term expires this year, I can just let the voters decide about the next term.
Now, I don't think they're going to turn their backs on a young man who would risk his career to save a lady some embarrassment.
This is very generous of you, sir.
Well, every man is entitled to one mistake. Who knows, maybe this is mine.
Oh, I don't know about that, Hugh. Remember the Cunningham affair?
Never mind, Geraldine. Yes, anyway, Logan, tomorrow morning I will issue my statement. It will be a public rebuke of your conduct. But I will also state that there were no violations of laws. I have accepted your apologies and promises for your future behavior, etc., etc.
Terrific.
Yes.
I'm very grateful.
Yes, well, there's just one thing you can do to make up for all of this. Do the best damn job you can.
I will, sir. You can be sure of it.
Yes, well, you've got your opportunity right now. You get a conviction in that Austin trial. Yes, you prove to the people of this town that you are impartial in the defending of citizens.
That's what I keep telling him.
Yes, everyone knows that you were friendly with this girl, and they may very well think that you don't want her convicted. Well, you get in there and prove them wrong by proving her guilty. Now, do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
You could do with some rest. That's the work you've done.
Good Lord!
Sara!
Oh, my. Oh, you poor thing.
Oh, Miss Huntington, Mr. Dorn, it was the most awful experience of my life.
What happened?
I was tidying up, and I heard the elevator's door open, and I thought it was you. So when I went over there, I looked up, and there were these two huge men.
No, get up here.
Oh, judging by the size of them, they could easily have overpowered Oscar for me.
Yeah, but we just saw Oscar downstairs. He seemed unaware that anything out of the ordinary was taking place.
Sara, what did they look like?
Well, I really couldn't say. I mean, it all happened so fast. They just grabbed me and tied me up.
Common burglars.
Did they hurt you?
Oh, well, one of them told me that if I were to cooperate, I wouldn't be harmed. Oh, they just put me against this chair and tied me up and gagged me.
But when did this happen?
About an hour ago. Well, it could be more. I really couldn't say.
Well, I should never have gone for that walk.
Oh, that's probably what they were waiting for, darling. They waited until we both left. Sara, do you want me to call a doctor for you?
Oh, no, really, that's all right. I'm just a bit shaken, that's all.
Do you know if anything else in the apartment has been stolen?
Well, one of them said something about going up to the bedroom and looking for some jewelry. I really don't know of anything else.
Well, the important thing is, Sara, that those thugs didn't harm you.
Well, I can't tell you how happy I was to see you arrive.
Darling, we've got to call the police. Call the police.
Yes, I'll do that. Operator, connect me with the police. I have a robbery to report.
a light. So much for never going to bed on a quarrel. Wish Margo had never gone to that hotel. It might be helping my case, but it sure as hell isn't helping my marriage. Who is it?
It's Arnold.
Arnie. Come on in. What's up?
I got something for you, Mr. Scott.
What is it?
Oh, I ran over to the deli for a container of coffee, and when I came back, I found that on the table over by the mailboxes.
Any idea who left it?
Nope.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Good night.